Want to talk to you about the Veep stakes. Your name is continually thrown out as being on the short list potentially, that this trip may be part of an audition. The New York Times had a lengthy piece where they talk about your transformation, they say, from somebody who was not supportive of President Trump to somebody who is full-throatedly supportive of him. They say you called him a whack job at one point, and they add this. In August 2015, she told a New York radio station that he was insulting to women and that his candidacy would hurt the party's efforts to attract female voters. According to her former friends, they continue, she thought Mr. Trump was too awful and ridiculous to be taken seriously. Her revisionism still shocks those who have known her the longest and who remember the disdain she expressed for Mr. Trump back then. So the question is when, more importantly, why did you change your mind about President Trump?
Well, Shannon, it's a disgrace that you would quote the New York Times with nameless, faceless,
but they're quoting your
sources.
Friends, so I'm giving you a chance to respond to
Shannon,
that.
Shannon.
The one thing you don't want to do is remind a current Trump sycophant of their previous thoughts about him back when he didn't rule over them with an iron fist. It makes people like Elise Stefanik respond with furious anger to make sure that the boss hears that they'll resort to it when faced with reality.
No, Shannon, they're not quoting my friends. Those names are not included because they are false smears. I was attacked
to be fair, there are a number of names of people. Just to be fair, there are a number of names of people who are quoted in the article.
Shannon, let me correct you.
People can read it for themselves.
This is a false smear, and let me tell you a fact, Shannon. In 2016, I was attacked as the only elected Republican from the Northeast who voted for President Trump. Democrats spent hundreds of thousands of dollars attacking me for that fact. So to say that I didn't support him is just false.
How dare you quote a New York Times article that quotes nameless, faceless people that don't exist, Shannon? It's a complete lie. They say I told a radio station that he's insulting to women and that he hampers our ability to attract female voters. Since she's so mad about it, she wants you to believe her and nothing that you read in the New York Times. But you know, instead, maybe it's easier to just listen to Elise Stefanik say all the things that she claims she didn't say.
You're a woman, you're a congresswoman, and Trump has been, by many people's allegations, insulting to women. Where are you on this one?
I agree with that. I think he has been insulting to women. I think that his comments about Megyn Kelly, who is, actually went to law school in Albany, so she's very familiar with upstate New York. I was deeply concerned about those comments, and we are a long way out from the Iowa caucus and the New Hampshire primary. I think this may be Mr. Trump's peak moment, and I think we're going to see his numbers change, and decline over the coming weeks and months as the other candidates have an opportunity to share their vision for the future of this country. But I think it's really important for Republicans, if you look at the 2012 election, we need to ensure that we're increasing our party's ability to reach out to women. And I work on that in Congress. I care passionately about that. And Donald Trump's comments have not helped that effort. They've hurt that effort.
It's like she didn't know that anyone can find her interview and listen to her say the exact same things that the New York Times quoted her as saying. It's easier to just admit that you hated the guy at first until he surprised you by winning and then calmly try to come up with a coherent reason that you changed your mind about him. Because now, we should believe the rest of the article, too.
Okay, let me ask you, though, because they quote you on a radio station calling him insulting to women. Is that a misquote? Did you not say that?
I said the statement that the Democrats leaked out in 2016, that was insulting. However, Shannon, I stood by and supported him, and I strongly support him. I've been proud to support him. It's a disgrace that you would take a New York Times article and just read negative quotes.
We know where you are today. Folks can go read that article for themselves. There are plenty of names, people who went on the record, and we'll leave it there. Clearly, you are supportive of him now, and we will track and follow where you are on the campaign trail.
I was supportive of him then, Shannon, in 2016, as you know, so I hope you will tell the viewers that as well.
You ever notice how pissed off Trumpers get when they're faced with the slightest pushback, forcing them to confront the truth every once in a while? They rage, they yell, they talk over the person trying to insert the truth, all because he demands a very high level of negative energy from his subordinates. They were more bold with their disdain for him in 2015 and 2016, but now that he's got more power, Republicans are afraid to openly oppose him, no matter what.
A verdict in the Trump trial could come next week. If he's convicted, could you support him still?
I'm not. We'll see how the trial comes out. I'm not weighing in on that.
I wouldn't be surprised if he is convicted. I mean, that's probably going to happen, but that's going to get most likely thrown out. I mean, these charges, frankly, I mean, talk about election interference. That's what's going on right now in that New York courtroom. Would you rethink your support for him?
No. I mean, we're still dealing with the policy issues here. At the end of the day, we're still dealing with what's best for our economy, how do we deal with immigration, and all the policy issues still matter on
What
this.
about, character, being a convicted felon, et cetera?
100%. I mean, I've said often that I want to be able to have people that are role models and leaders and all those things as well. For me, the policy issues are going to matter significantly.
Even James Lankford there, who led Republicans to a border bill that they would have normally celebrated as a victory until Trump told them that it's not in his best interest. He can't say that he'd pull his support. They're learning that the only acceptable positions are, "we'll see," or "which knee do you want me to kneel down on, sir?"
He's now introducing the Let Trump Speak Act. It prohibits judges from issuing gag orders to defendants in any criminal or civil proceedings, with some exceptions. Joining me now, the man himself, Tennessee Congressman Andy Ogles.
Well, what this bill does is it creates a prohibition on these gag orders that are clearly politically motivated and a right of action. So he could sue because his rights are being violated. And so with that, we were there. You could tell that this trial is nothing more than a political witch hunt. And so enough is enough. Trump should be acquitted. He should be back on the campaign trail, and that's it. They're trying to keep Trump off of the campaign trail and keeping him tied up in court.
So because of their endless fealty to working for Donald Trump's campaign, Representative Ogles is introducing a cartoonish bill that would make gag orders illegal, even allowing the guy that keeps violating it to sue over being slapped with one. It's just another signal to their criminal president that they're more willing to waste Americans' time and money on public gestures of submissiveness than to do their jobs. They're so embarrassingly dedicated to his needs they don't even care that he trots them out like his personal collection of human footstools to brag to the media about.
Alan Dershowitz, who I think is standing right behind me. We have many people from Congress, senators, congressmen. We've had them here all week. And I say, don't come. And by the way, outside looks like it's supposed to be Fort Knox. There are more police than I've ever seen anywhere because they don't want to have anybody come down. There's not a civilian within 3 blocks of the courthouse.